Good evening. This is All India Radio, Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Advisor for Food and Civil Supplies, Bukai Semi, inaugurates new office building of Assistant Director Supply in Dimapur. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates first ever submarine optical fiber cable for Andaman Nicobar Islands. Total COVID-19 positive case in Nagaland crosses 3,000 mark with the detection of 230 new cases. And Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank says National Education Policy 2020 is a blend of tools enabling students to compete with the global world. Advisor Food and Civil Supplies Bukai Semi today inaugurated the new office building of Assistant Director Supply at Bank Colony, Dimapur. Speaking at the inaugural program held virtually, Bukai congratulated the Director of Food and Civil Supplies, Nagaland, Asangla Imti, and her team and all involved for successful completion of the office building with quality workmanship within the time frame. The advisor complimented the departmental officers, staff, field officers, and workers for successful completion of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana Phase 1 and Atmanirbhar Bharat in all districts besides the regular schemes. He said the department during this period of COVID-19 pandemic has done a commendable job of ensuring availability of food grains all over the state without interrupting supply chain despite facing hurdles and practical constraints. Bukai advised the department officers and staff to follow the 3 golden rules of social distancing, hand hygiene, and wearing masks as a preventive measure to stay away from coronavirus. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated 2,300-kilometer submarine optical fiber cable network between Chennai and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Modi said under the Act East policy, the role of Andaman and Nicobar in India's strong relations with East Asian countries and other countries connected to the sea is very high and is going to increase. Modi said this project is Union government's commitment for ease of living. He said the government is committed to speedy development of national security linked to border areas and island states. Saying this project will boost tourism in the islands, Prime Minister expressed happiness over completion of the project before the deadline. Modi said this is Independence Day gift for the people of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The Prime Minister said not only Andaman people will get a big boost, but also sea trade will rise exponentially. Saying that connectivity is part of tourism growth, Prime Minister emphasized that tourists who will travel to the islands will also be benefited by the digital initiative. This cable project is running 2,313 km undersea between Chennai and Port Blair at a cost of 1,224 crore rupees. The total COVID-19 positive case in Nagaland today reached 3,011 with a detection of 230 new cases. State Health and Family Welfare Minister in a tweet said, out of 828 samples tested, 104 cases have been detected in Dimapur, 104 in Kohima, 18 in Mon, and 4 in Peren. The minister said contact tracing is fully put in force and all primary contacts are kept under self-isolation to avoid further transmission. Out of 230 cases detected today, 146 are from the armed forces, 22 from amongst returnees, 60 traced contacts, and 2 frontline workers. The total active case in the state is 2,096, while 904 have recovered. Cases from armed forces accounts for 45.57% of the total case, returnees 36.33%, traced contact 9.73%, frontline workers 6.58%, and other cases 1.79%. Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has said that National Education Policy 2020 is a blend of tools enabling the students to compete with the global world as well as to grasp the Bharat-centric values, culture and languages. Participating in a webinar on Atmanirbhar Madhya Pradesh Health and Education in New Delhi today, Pokhriyal said the policy aims to revamp all aspects of India's education system that were in place over 3 decades and bring it closer to the best global standards of education. The National Education Policy has maintained a balance between the traditions and the interdisciplinary approach. He said the policy has a clear vision and defined objectives. Pokhriyal said the reforms proposed can only be implemented collaboratively by the centre and the states. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. The Health Ministry's initiative, e-Sanjeevani OPT, a telemedicine service, has registered 1,58,000 online consultations. Health and Family Welfare Minister Harsh Vardhan said since last November, 23 states have launched the services covering 75% of the country's population, while others are in the process of rolling it out. The e-Sanjeevani platform has enabled two types of teleconsultations, doctor-to-doctor e-Sanjeevani and patient-to-doctor e-Sanjeevani OPT. Dr. Harsh Vardhan said e-Sanjeevani is being implemented under the Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Center program. It seeks to connect all 1,50,000 health and wellness centers using the hub and spoke model by December 2020, he said. So far, 12,000 health professionals, including 2,800 doctors, have been trained to offer consultations on the national e-platform through over 3,000 HWCs across 10 states. Every day, around 250 doctors and specialists are providing e-health services despite the lockdown, he said. This service is available on Android apps. A patient gets to see the doctor in around 5 minutes after logging in. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emphasized on better coordination between all central and state agencies to have a permanent system for forecasting of floods and extensive use of innovative technologies for improving forecast and warning system. Modi today held a meeting with Chief Ministers of Assam, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Kerala through video conferencing to review their preparedness to deal with southwest monsoon and current flood situation in the country. He said over the past few years, forecasting agencies like India Meteorological Department and Central Water Commission have been making concerted efforts to make better and more usable flood forecasts. The Prime Minister mentioned that investment should be increased in localized early warning system so that people in a particular area can be provided with timely warning in case of any threatening situation such as breach of river embankment, inundation level and lightning. The Supreme Court today granted time to the University Grants Commission (UGC) to respond on the decision taken by Maharashtra and Delhi government to cancel university exams amid COVID-19 pandemic. The apex court has also sought reply by UGC to address the question whether the Disaster Management Act would override the UGC notification on the guidelines for exams. The bench of Justices Ashok Bhushan, R. Subhash Reddy and M.R. Shah took up the matter for hearing today. The governments of Delhi and Maharashtra had earlier filed affidavits in the court stating that the exams would not be conducted in the light of COVID-19 pandemic. The UGC, on the other hand, maintained that the exams need to be conducted by September 30. The apex court has given time to UGC to file the reply on the issue, and the Supreme Court fixed the matter for hearing on August 14th. Aboli T. Wotsa has bagged the first prize in the Thai Akar letter writing campaign Northeast Circle 2019-20 organized by Department of Post. This is the third consecutive win for Aboli Wotsa in the same competition. Informing this, Superintendent of Post, Nagaland Division Kohima, L. Tiken Singh, in a release said Wotsa participated in the above 18 years in envelope category on the theme Dear Bapu, You Are Immortal. The department congratulated Wotsa for her achievement. The department said out of 2,102 participants in the Northeast level, 891 from Nagaland participated in the competition. The annual Thai Agar letter writing campaign aims to promote the art of letter writing in the country. Nagaland State Unit of All India Freedom Fighter and Successors Organization, along with the rest of the country, observed the 78 Quit India movement at its office in Kohima yesterday. The organization in a press release said a 2-minute silence was observed during the program as a mark of respect to the freedom fighters who had sacrificed their lives for the motherland. And now 20 News, here are the main points again. Advisor for Food and Civil Supplies, Bukai Simi inaugurates new office building of Assistant Director Supply in Dimapur. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates first ever submarine optical fiber cable for Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Total COVID-19 positive case in Nagaland crosses 3,000 mark with the detection of 230 new cases. And Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank says National Education Policy 2020 is a blend of tools enabling students to compete with global world. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.